Hey, this is B from Kongs of Us, and I sort of did a thing. I spent $3,000 on some pinball accessories. Kind of dumb, right? So you can head over to Stern's website to find the listings of all of their different accessories they have here, including all the Foo Fighters mods and various pinball machines. But let's start with the topper, with that exorbitant price point of $2,000 for this topper. When I first saw it, I was like, wow! Both to the topper and to the price, but $2,000 for the topper, man, it's just the same price as the Mandalorian topper. But oh man, we'll talk about price point a little bit later. But the expression lighting kit, here it is, standard at $500. Lights up both sides of your playfield, looks awesome. The shooter knob, I really like the rocket and has RGB lights on it too. I've heard some size issues with it getting in the way of stuff. And then we have this glorious Foo Fighters side armor, which protects the flipper and some of the art. I feel like this one is probably the least needed one, but all in all together, it's close to $3,000 worth of accessories. So before I get too far into this video, I did want to say that I was fortunate enough to be part of Stern's marketing loaner program, where I was able to borrow a pinball machine to play for a couple of months. I had a Bond and a Venom, but this Foo Fighters Premium was one of the first pinball machines I purchased new in box. It was freaking amazing. It was my first new in box pinball machine. I got it from Flippin' Out last year in July, and I've been waiting to accessorize it, do all the mods for it and everything too. So I'm very excited. I purchased all of the pinball mods on my own as well. So here it is. Let's get to it. Let's start with unboxing all the different accessories, starting with the topper here. So we have the topper here shipped in a nice box with some foam. And here we have the Foo Fighters topper, this super expensive topper that is pretty dang awesome in my opinion. The first time I saw this and I saw the Foobot head there, I just love the fact that they incorporated the Foobot head and doing all the call out for you. Looking at this for the first time, it has kind of a matte finish to it, so it's super nice. It has all the band members on the sides too for some extra lighting, some nice kind of 3D effect there, but it's really expensive for what it is. But I really like the theme of Foo Fighters with the Foobot and all the kind of 1980s cartoon theme and coming together. So having this turn is going to be pretty dang awesome. All right, next up we have the expression lighting kit, which comes packaged with a lot of different foam packaging here. You have instructions, obviously, and inside here you have the art blade. So this is the actual art blades to cover up the bottom portion of the expression lighting kit. So it looks like some Area 51 artwork there, really nicely done, Zombie Yeti artwork. And then you have the actual expression lighting blade. So you have the left and the right side blades with the actual art there as long as the cables, and tons of ferrite clamps and cables for all the different wiring. We also have two boards here that are going to be attached to the side of the cabinet as well. All right, next up we have the shooter rod here. So this is an RGB shooter rod that has a sculpted missile here. The RGB lights are these two LEDs on the bottom right here that will light up that clear plastic part there. So this is that. You also have the connector pieces here that are going to extend, as well as the extra base plates there. And lastly, we have the AMA kit. This is the side armor for the actual Foo Fighters pinball machine for the side. It comes with two different giant panels there. On the inside, you'll see the lovely side armor that's supposed to protect especially the flipper buttons, and you have that nice hollow foil, really nice Foo Fighters logo on the side there. So yeah, this is the nice Foo Fighters side armor. Let's get everything installed. All right, so let's mod the Foo Fighters topper. The first thing we're gonna do is turn the machine off, obviously, and then make sure that we take off 4 screws on the side, as well as that top section in the middle. We're gonna unplug that, put our topper on, screw it down, and plug it in. So let's get going. All right, once we have this unplugged, we're gonna kind of push this clip in the middle section to help push this out. This is going to be where we're going to wire all of our topper plug into. I still like to use a power drill for my modding. It's just much more efficient, but you can use a regular screwdriver if you like. All right, let's get this installed on the top. Oh, this looks so good. We're going to take the wires first, stick them down the hole, big plug, stick the plug up to hole. All right, now that we have it all secured, we're going to start using the clips to make sure that the cables are nice and tight. So we're going to take the Cat 6 cable, and this is going to plug directly into this middle port right there. So let's go ahead and make sure that's plugged in right there. So I think that's about as far as it can go. Maybe I'll get this underneath here just so it's slightly cleaner. There we go. So now we're going to drop this, and now the power cable is going to route down and it's going to plug into this bottom right section on the power supply node. So it's right there in the bottom left hand corner. Backbox ACC power is what it's listed as. So you should be able to plug it in just one way, and it'll go in nice and easy. All right, make sure you follow along some of the wire cabling management. Yes, we have some power. Look at that. Foobot is on and glorious. So good. All right, let's install everything else. All right, next up is the expression lighting kit. And now this is probably the most complicated install because we're going to have to lift up and take off this entire play field to be able to make sure that we can install the art blades as well as the expression lighting kits purposefully. So I always forget to do this, but I'm going to remember this time that we got to take out the balls. Let's take out the balls. All right, now that the balls are out, we're going to do a lift onto the service railing. Push this all the way back. All right. Okay, now we're going to get in here and we're going to unplug a couple of key areas. So let me put this camera in a little bit closer. All right, so on the bottom of your play field, you're going to have a couple of connectors down here that are connected. So there's 3 connectors here that we need to unplug. So 1, 2, and 3. And the last thing that's connected is the Cat 6 cable right here that normally is wound up around these wires. So you're going to need to unplug this and then unwind it from there. But those are all the wires that are connected, and then we can lift and take out the entire playfield. So this is going to be fun. All right, now we're going to install these 2 circuit board PCBs here onto the side of the cabinet. So they do provide these long screws right here. Should come in a nice little baggie like this. So let's go ahead and get these installed. So there's actually some pilot holes already marked out for you. So you just got to line up exactly where the pilot holes are to the screws. You can start kind of just fitting them in one by one. And then afterwards you can use your screwdriver or your drill like I do. Again, don't recommend all the stuff that I do. And then you can just drill it in there. All right, next up, the instructions tell you to kind of connect these 2 cables. So you got a 6-pin over here and an 8-pin over here. So this is going to connect the 6-pin connector from the top side right over here all the way to the left-hand side over here. Make sure all the pins are lined up nice correctly. So here's the existing power cable that comes from the cabinet. So this will come loose already. So you can go ahead and plug this in as well to this section right here. All right, and the other thing that's going to happen is that this Cat 6 cable coming from the back of the back box is going to plug into this front cable right here. And then there's an included Cat 6 cable. Cat 5, I don't know, this is, I think they call it an RJ something cable. Apparently this is an RJ45 patch data cable, so not a Cat 5 or Cat 6 cable, but you know, I could call them an Ethernet cable. But this is for your data. Okay. This is going to plug in right here, and then this is going to connect back into the board on the playfield afterwards. And we'll get this wire down in just a second. All right, this is where we start needing to use all these ferrite clamps. And so this is to help reduce the noise going to the lights. So the first one is this smaller one. It's a 18. It's going to connect to the existing cable that's connecting to here. Okay, so that's one. We're going to take one of these cables from the power as well. So the power is going to also come through here. This is a nice big power cable one. So we're going to clamp that onto here. Okay. And then for this data cable here, we're going to actually wind it around twice just to make sure it's gone through one loop like that, and then clamp it through. So it at least has one extra clamp through there. All right, next up we're installing the art blades. And so from here, I do recommend having some sort of wedgie to be able to kind of tie it down. So this is gonna go on this side right here. We're going to kind of line it up right where the hole is, and then make sure it's nice and lined up right on the edge of this. So they do offer some different patches and areas for you to kind of start lining it up. So doing vinyl, some people hate doing vinyl. I personally hate doing it because I always feel like I'm gonna screw up. But I'm gonna start on the back side and make sure I line up that hole perfectly first, and then we're gonna go from there. And it's so much easier actually having the art blades, the entire playfield out. I've installed art blades with the playfield half up, and it definitely can be a pain, but this is definitely nice to have it completely off so that you can match everything up, and then hopefully afterwards move it around to get it into place and smooth it all the way down. So I think this hole is the guiding principle right here. We want to make sure we line it up right up against the edge there, so we can get it nice and lined up. All right, I feel like I got it lined up enough. So now I'm gonna take my wedgie and just make sure I smooth it out, don't have any air bubbles going from the inside out. Yeah, we can kind of lay this down flat, and then use our wedgie, see if we can get any last minute bubbles out. All right, so that's the left side. Let's do the right side. All right, our blades are looking really clean. Now it's time to install the expression light. Start with the left side, and we're gonna unscrew all the different screws. We're gonna save them all. Okay, let's remove the plastic. Easy peasy, set this aside. Okay, here's the left side expression lighting kit, matching the side art. Let's go ahead and snip this, or we're going to snip that in just a second, but we can go ahead and, it's nicely routed. Should fit in there nice and easy. There's part of me like that there's like this little gap right here between this top part. I was like, maybe I could reinstall the blade, but like, part of me is like, good enough. You know, gets a little bit of a gap, but I think it's good. All right, let's go ahead and do the other side of the playfield. All right, slides in nice and perfectly. Let's go ahead and get this reinstalled. All right, now that we have both sides of the expression lights installed, we just have to plug everything and then add in our ferrite cables. So these are zip tied together, so you definitely have to snip the zip ties to loosen the cables. We'll toss that out in just a second. So yeah, this is going to wire down from the expression lighting on this side, and then these ones here on the left hand side, they're going to plug into these bottom ones here that are white, and then the ones on the other side of the playfield, they're going to plug into the orange ones there. So they're nicely color coded. You shouldn't be able to mess them up at all. And then from here, there's two different size pins. You have a 5-pin and a 6-pin, and so it should go in pretty easily. All right, so we're going to be wiring down the wires from here. There's going to have two of these tied through this ferrite clamp here. So that's going to be one, and then we're going to do individual ones to each one of these lines as well. They're going to go into the actual board itself. So we have two together, individual clamps on both sides, one, and then two, another big clamp for them together on the opposite side. So it feels excessive, but you know, the Stern team feel like they know what they're doing. So they've included all these ferrite clamps for you to use. And once you have it set up like this, again, two individual ones here, and then two again.
and then you're going to plug in the 6-pin and the 5-pin connector. So here's your 6-pin connector on this side, and then your 5-pin connector coming down the bottom this way. Okay, on the opposite side here, we're going to take this big heavy one and we're going to loop this twice. So it's going to loop around once and come back through one more time. So it's this nice big heavy duty one. Make sure you clear and don't clamp anything else there. Okay. Okay. And then we have 2 individual ones that are going to come on both sides of these as well. Okay, and we're going to be able to install probably one more bracket. They recommend having one of these brackets kind of put into right here to hold on to it. So I'll get that installed after we test everything out and I can clean everything down. Okay, and these are going to run across over to the other side and plug in. All right, it doesn't say any instructions about this extra clamp, but I'm going to actually put in one more of these, wrap this around over here, just to make sure that there's one more extra ferrite clamp that I've used, and that all of them are being used on that side. So here's the final installation of the boards here that you can see. Everything is plugged in from the cabinet itself. The data cable is patched in over here. This is going to be patched in. We're going to plug this back into the board itself. And then this is going to be from the right side, and then this is from the left side here. You can see all the ferrite tubes that we have going to the expression lighting kit to get set up, and we'll test it out once we finish everything up. All right, next up we have the RGB shooter rod installation. So we're going to be installing this shooter rod right there. So let's go ahead and remove all the bolts. We're actually going to remove the original plate as well from here. That's the original shooter rod. We actually got to remove the entire plate as well. So those 2 orange and red bolts are 1/4 inch. We're going to start off by reinstalling this new plate with the wire holes to kind of go through. All right, shooter rod now is going to come through the front side, and then these 2 RGB cables are just going to soak through on both sides of the new plate. All right, get in the hole. Hole is your home. Get in your home. Okay. Here's our new shooter rod. Let's get everything re-bolted in. All right, there's the shooter rod. Looking really good. Let's finish the rest of the installation. All right, let's start with the cable installation. And so there's 2 big cables and on this side, and then the 2 4-end pins are going to go to the other side where the actual plunger is. So there's the first cable here is kind of this splits cable that's going to go on the bottom part of the this node board right there. So that's just going to clip on right over there, and then this one single cable is going to clip on to this top section right over here. And that's it. You can kind of follow the wiring all the way through. I'm going to clean this up after I test everything out. All right, and so then you have these 4 pins right here going into this connector board. It really doesn't matter which one you plug it into. It should work the same. All right. And then lastly, what we have to do is make sure that we secure and tie this down, probably to this wiring right over here, where we have some nice clean wiring right over here. So we gotta make sure we clean up this wiring, tie it down right over here. We can zip tie this together, make sure that it stays nice and clean. All right, and the final thing to do is install the side arch armor, and we're done. There's actually bolts here that we need to take out, so let's make sure we get our bolts to remove. See, I wouldn't have thought to think that this is an issue, but the actual kind of back box brace is blocking the bolt for taking off this last piece here. So I guess we got to fold it down to be able to take out that bolt. That's kind of annoying. So this bolt in the back right here is being blocked by this back part right here. So did not know that. I have to fold down the back box in order to get this last bolt out. Unless I'm doing something wrong, let me know. But that's slightly annoying. All right, side art is all installed. I think it is now time to put it back together and turn it on. All right, finally we have success. I had issues making sure that the dip switches were in the correct position. I forgot to check this basic step. Step number 1 was check the dip switches. I thought it was already in this position, but no, it was all set to off and I had to switch them on. But yes, everything is now working. We have RGB lighting for the expression lights. Oh my goodness, looking really clean, really nice. Of course, we have our nice lovely side armor here, as well as our RGB plunger, and then of course Mr. Foobot himself, the Topper. The Topper is here. Everything is now working beautifully. The accessories, it took a little while to get everything working, but we made it. We finally made it here. The expression lighting is what I've been waiting for this whole time to make sure I can play. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. All right, let's see if we can get a game in. All right, so we got all our accessories installed, turn on the game, set up some extra cameras. I'm super excited to be able to do some gameplay with all the accessories. I have the expression lighting kits up and running. This looks great in the track mode. All the lights are synced to the playfield, which is really nice. You got your RGB plunger here, so there's 2 LED lights that are coming out to kind of light up this clear plastic part. You have your hollow foil side armor, and then way up top, you do have your topper that is up there. So it's super nice to be able to see everything put together, nice and glorious. So we added some extra cameras to do some sample gameplay for you. So let's get it. Let's see if we can hear those Foobot callouts. So Foobot yelling at you when you hit the game already. And so technically, you don't even need the Foobot Topper to hear this callout. So the 1.0 code came out. It's now included in the game itself. And so the first thing we do when we play the game is we want to short punch, cut it those drop targets to be able to see if we can do an automatic van upgrade. And I missed the skill shot, so we'll see if we can just start up a mode. So generally what you want to do to start the game is try to hit any of those white shots consistently. So you hit 3 white shots to spell out van, and then you can start a city mode. And that's how you progress through the game. You gotta get through all 6 cities. Like the Foobot parts, and go from there. Alright, so I got one of the speaker upgrades. So a speaker upgrade to your van. That helps give you more points when you're in your mode. Let's see if we can do the overdrive save. I really love that feature in this game. Ways to save a ball and feel really good about it. But yeah, we're going to keep going for the drop target upgrades. We're going for a bomb upgrade now. This helps spot one of the shots on a mode. So each time I hit that missile shot upgrade, it pretty much completes one of the shots I would have to do in a mode. So I always try to upgrade that if I can, but it's dangerous because it just popped down the middle. Okay, so I have a couple of van upgrades. I pretty much have the city modes ready to go, so I can go ahead and start up a mode for a city. Let's go ahead and try to do that right now. We have 3 shots spotted. Let's do New Orleans. Probably the easiest one, where every shot in the game is lit up. All you gotta do is once you hit a shot, you just have to repeat that same shot again. So I went up the spinner, and I'm gonna hit that same spinner shot over time. So that's kind of the easiest shot to hit in the game. Is probably that spinner. And then once you hit the shot, and now I hit the overlord. I just get to hit the overlord one more time.
Like 2112 times 2112 epic.
And it'll complete that. And then I have this 2 more shots to do. So pretty much can hit any of the shots. Do the spinner one more time. Oh, look at that stucky ball. Oh, almost. Okay, center spinner. Perfect. Gonna hit that center spinner one more time, and then we should be done. Oh. All right, almost.
Bottom Ward. Oh, I love Foo Bot callouts. Okay, center spinner. Boom. All right, now let's just hit. Let's hit Overlord one more time to finish the city mode. Oh, missed it. Oh, I love that the kicker picks it back up the ramp. There it is. All right, we finished college. And then we rinse repeat. We hit another more white shot to be able to complete more modes. Alright. Oh, now I just started all my life in multi-ball. And now I have those red target shots to hit for jackpot shots. If you want to add another ball, you have to hit the Overlord. A couple different times. That lock. This Overlord is locked. I don't even know how to get the third ball out here. Alright. Jackpot throws. Looks like I have hit it up the left lane. Oh, that shot is really hard to hit. That right ramp is super hard to hit.
Looks like the sun's over.
At least I can keep. No, oh no, I lost my multi-ball. If I could do it one last time. Hard to get up that ramp, but anyways. Starting with the multi-ball. And then I'm gonna see if we can start another city mode. Upgrading speakers right now. Keep missing that shot, and I want to hit that back. Okay. All right, let's hit a couple more white shots. Set up another city mode. There it is. Okay, so now we have three shots spotted. Try to do New York. I feel like New York is the next easiest one. Pretty much just hit up that center spinner. And yeah, you can just keep hitting that center spinner over and over again. Oh, I love it. Overdrive. So save is so good. It's so satisfying when you hit it. Thank you, Jack Danger, for including that. Ways to save a pinball. I love it. So much easier. Kind of difficult to execute, but really satisfying when you do it. Remember, lift at that flipper. Oh. Okay, center spinner one more time. Oh no!
To be continued.
All right. Decent ball too. 158 million so far. I have an extra ball list, so maybe I can get an extra ball. So I kind of short plunge, got to the flipper. So now I have a free shot to the drop target, and that's going to give me one of the drop target levels. Skill shot through that left flipper. Oh, let's see if I can keep that combo going. Oh, nope. Nope. All right, let's not get too crazy now. Let's see if we can get. Oh no, ball save. Crazy. All right, I have a UFO shot. So I do have a spot shotted for my UFO target, so I should start using that. Okay, let's get in control and let's start that mode again. And so I do like games where once you start up a mode, you can kind of finish that mode. So now I have the UFO City or New York to finish up. So I just have that one shot, and now New York is finished. I just got to hit the Overlord targets. Okay, let's hit Overlord. Oh, no. Right save is there. All right, Overlord, let's go. Oh, all right, we did New York. Let's see if we can get another city. Let's see if we can get that extra ball. We got to get that extra ball to be able to make sure I keep my game going. It's 168 million so far right now. Oh, now that shot is kind of hard to get off. How to get it off bounces. So I never really know how to hit that extra ball. All right, got my speaker upgrade going. Boom. Oh no! All right, dang it. All right, that was ball 3. Well, that was a good sample gameplay to see how I did. 178 million just to kind of play. Still have never topped 1 billion points in this game, but I'm definitely going to have more fun with all the accessories. So final thoughts, are these accessories worth it? I don't think so. I mean, absolutely not. $3,000 for everything here is just way too expensive for accessories. You have suckers like me that are going to pay for them, but my goodness, I don't think toppers should ever be more than $1,000. I wish they would really standardize the prices on toppers, make them no less than $1,000. I mean, no more than $1,000, and then try to add as much value as you can up into that price point. Like over $1,000 for anything for an accessory, it's just plain ridiculous. But these are the only pins that I own right now: the Foo Fighters, the Godzilla, and Star Wars. And so for me, the modder in me, I find it personally worth it because I like to mod and trick out my machines. But for the average person or any pinheads, I don't know. I just don't know how sustainable this is to keep this at this price point. But I still love the way that it looks. I'm still happy personally that I got them, but it's just quite an investment. I won't see myself purchasing any other home arcade or pinball product in the next year or so just to kind of recoup my cost for this, but I'm having a blast doing this. Hopefully you enjoyed this content. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel, hit that like button, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye.
Rock and roll punch.